Clarisse Garcia is in her second season as the head women's basketball coach at Charleston Southern University. Today, I talk one-on-one with her about how she's preparing for the second season for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Coach Clarisse Garcia, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for including me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Obviously, you're the head women's basketball coach, that is, at Charleston Southern University. And I know you were named the head women's basketball coach in 2021. What is the biggest difference from then to right now as you as head women's basketball coach?
Okay, no, that's a great question. I think the biggest thing right now is just we've kind of completely transformed a lot of things within the program, from staff to players to personnel. We even just redid the locker room. So there's just been a lot of support around the program, and we have really great momentum.
That is really great to hear. Talk to me. How many staff members did you bring in since you started this particular position?
Yeah, so last year there were 4 of us. So I had brought in 3. And then we've added about 3 more. So we have a good amount of support around the program. It's been really neat to see just people kind of come in and come alongside and link arms and lock shields and go to work in the trenches with us.
And speaking of which, with all of that, with that, Coach, how are you putting forth a campaign to increase your lofty standard at Charleston Southern University?
Yeah, so last year we really kind of set the foundation as to what we were going to be about as a program. And, for us, it was always geared towards, doing the right thing the right way with the right people. And we coined that into a phrase called climb the ladder. And so for us, what does that look like every day? Okay, well, did we take steps toward progressing to our goals? Ultimately, when you climb ladders in basketball, you cut down nets. So we really kind of hone into that being what we're about. And then this year, we really introduced to the team, team basketball. What does that look like? It's being tenacious, it's excellence, holding yourself accountable, and having an elite level mindset.
Wow. What are you holding yourself accountable when it comes to the women's basketball program at Charleston Southern University?
What do I do?
Yeah, what are you holding yourself accountable for?
Absolutely. Just working my absolute hardest every day, competing every day. Because I know, if I work my hardest, if I go and give my best, not only will our program get better, but God gets glorified. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. You're right about that as well. What are your goals as far as climbing this particular ladder?
Yes, so absolutely. Our overall department goals, obviously, Christian culture, academic excellence, finishing top 3 in the league. Our goals always are to graduate our players, always to help them earn their degrees, and absolutely be their best. But our ultimate goal then, besides degrees and helping them become the best woman possible, are to cut down nets.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how does the Christian culture match this actual academic excellence at Charleston Southern University?
Yeah, well, we're in a very unique place where because it is school, we are free to talk about it and to incorporate it into our programs. And so that's what is really fun. Last year, we do Bible studies. This year, we'll probably bring in outside speakers and continue to do Bible studies in a different capacity. So.
Speaking of Bible study, Coach, what biblical scripture describes your team this season?
I would say probably, it's actually one of my favorites, but I would say Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you. And so I know I personally lean on that one quite a bit. But one of the other ones that we've really, I think, latched onto is, just set the vision before you, right? That's very clear in the scriptures to talk about writing down the vision. And that's where we are with the program, is we really want to make sure that, we keep corporately what, Christ has for us in front of us, but then also just, making sure that everything that we want to achieve, it's right there written down.
What does Jesus Christ have for your basketball team?
We're praying into that. I pray that it's transformation, transform hearts and minds. Probably most importantly, hearts. People come into the program at different points on the spectrum, and I've learned that sometimes we don't always get to plant, water, and sow. So just praying that wherever each individual player is, that they will receive what's theirs to be had.
And speaking of individual player, coach, let me ask you this: how many returning players do you have this year?
So we have 4 returning players, and we will have 8 new players.
Wow. So, who is your most impactful player right now?
Well, we just played 5-on-5 2 days ago for the first time, so that is still up in the air. I personally think that we'll be able to do it by committee. We are excited to have 3 returning starters, and Shemaya Lay, who kind of spearheaded the point position for us, but should be able to play a little bit more off the ball. Tori Gittens, who's a sharpshooter, but she's added so much to her game this summer. She's able, to hit a very consistent mid-range, take to the basket, and her defense has improved. And then Madison Adamson, super long, very athletic for us, can pretty much play 2 through 5, if we need her to. So, really been leaning on them and their leadership as we bring in all these new players who are working to climb with us.
And how are those new players climbing with you all?
Very good. I will say practices are very competitive. Workouts are competitive. They're very locked in. They're eager to learn. They're willing to push. So that's been fun to watch.
And what else are you eager to learn, Coach?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just eager to learn how on paper, we think everything is going to look a certain type of way, but then to ultimately watch how it morphs into something really special.
Wow. And you talk about those 2 impactful players that you obviously have, had during the summer, that is. Let me ask you, what is their supporting cast right now as far as people on the court, teaming up with them and making the team a success?
Yeah. Well, those are 3 of our returners. One of our other returners, Zaire Hicks, she had been out this past season with an injury. And so she's progressing. We anticipate that she'll make a full recovery, prayerfully. And then, having them kind of as the core, we've been able to add 4 other players from the state. So we've got 2 from Georgia, 1 from Alabama, 1 from Florida, and then 2 international freshmen who are one's from Sweden, one's from Spain. And then we also added a grad transfer who's a post player from Oklahoma State. Wow. So a lot different this year.
Absolutely. So, and this is probably a redundant question, Coach, but which freshman has had the biggest impact thus far?
I think in their own ways, they've all impacted. Kathy, who is from Atlanta, has just been very dynamic because she's so quick. So she's very quick off the bounce and she can shoot it very well. So, she's been definitely a force to be reckoned with as far as trying to guard her in practice. But the other freshmen, Jazz is knocking shots down. Carly's making smart plays. Alba, she had rolled her ankle, so we didn't really see much. But in shooting drills, she looks very smooth. Kais is an inside-outside player for us, so she's knocking down shots, making great reads. And then, they're just a great group. They're just really great. And then Sanaya, our post player, she has made huge strides from the first time she set foot on campus until now. So she's learned a lot.
Oh, wow, that's just amazing. So, what are the 2 tough games that you and your team are preparing for mentally?
In non-conference, we have a tough schedule. I think the ones they're probably most excited about are our guarantee games. The ones that we're playing against the Power 5 teams. So those will be Duke, Clemson, and South Carolina. Wow. Those ones are slated to be very, very tough. But hey, you only have to be better than them one time. So. We love to see it. And then in conference, we actually, our conference now has 10 teams, so we will play everyone twice. So we're going to battle against everybody.
Exactly right. So how have you crafted this schedule that will place you all in the best possible position to earn a postseason bid?
Absolutely. Well, we are in a 1-bid league. And so, it's not like with the non-conference, we're needing strength of schedule or anything like that. We primarily look to schedule a few guarantee games just, for experience and things like that. And then we play a lot. Our vision for non-conference schedule is to play a lot of regional schools so that we don't have to travel a lot because our conference is one that is regional. So we don't have to have that arduous travel where you're on a bus for like 10 hours or anything like that. So we don't really need to practice that. We need to practice competing kind of in region and taking care of business. But so we we'll use our non-conference to prep, but then what it really comes down to get to the tournament is winning the conference tournament.
Absolutely. And I know Coastal Carolina head football coach Jamie Chadwell told ESPN a few years ago that his players never practice nor prepare to be a last place team. How do you prepare like that at Charleston Southern?
Yeah, well, we just challenge them every day. What kind of woman are you going to be out there? And if you present your best and you are your best, then together we will rise and we won't be a last place team.
Exactly right. Charleston Southern's women's head best basketball coach, Clarisse Garcia, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.